you gonna sing? You gonna sing or what? You gotta dance?
I don't. Believe me, when the singing starts, that turns off.
Greek Mythology. Troy was one of the films that came out within 2004. It was directed by Wolfgang Petersen. What if I told you that Christopher Nolan was supposed to direct it? It actually would have been a much bigger film. I read an article about how Wolfgang pitched a Batman script to WB, but they rejected it. And then after he stepped away from Troy, WB hired Christopher Nolan to helm Troy. The end result was that WB rehired Wolfgang to direct, and because they originally had Nolan in mind, they actually let Nolan direct his Batman Trilogy. Troy was such a big deal in 2004. The cast was huge. Sean Bean, Brian Cox, Brad Pitt, Nathan Jones, Brendan Gleeson, Eric Bana, Orlando Bloom, and Diane Kruger. I was thrilled that this film was coming out because in history class we learned about the story of Troy. Unfortunately, it actually bombed at the box office, but it did find redemption as a director's cut, indicating that this was better than the original. Historical epic films. Another film that came out right around that time frame was a movie called Immortals. We have our boy Henry Cavill, as well as Mickey Rourke, Stephen Dorff, Luke Evans, John Hurt, and Frida Pinto, just to name a few. I've only seen the film a few times, but every time I see it, I get swept away by the vast cities, the cinematography, the acting, and the storyline. I highly recommend this film. There was a time actually when Hollywood made these epic films such as Troy, 300, Alexander, Gladiator, and even Ben-Hur if you want to go further back in time. I believe that if the Odyssey does well at the box office, Hollywood may reconsider making more of these movies again. $1 billion dynasty. Not too many people know the story about the Odyssey. However, most of us can say that we have read it in school at some point in time. Even if you aren't familiar with the story, you have the option to read about it, or you can even get a quick summary of the story on YouTube. A film like this has the potential to be in the $1 billion dynasty club. Just take a look at the cast that is in the film and you will believe it. This movie sold out 1 year on IMAX tickets before the film is even out, which is actually insane. I trust that Christopher Nolan will bring us a film that will have us talking about it for a very long time. Every time he directs, he seems to bring us something that we haven't seen in a while. I was so moved by Oppenheimer that I saw it at least 3 times in IMAX. So my question is, how many times will you see this historical epic film?